Critical Role announces a weird new podcast. Matt Mercer takes Critical Role on an adventure through the world of Suikoden, and D&D Sigil Virtual Tabletop finally goes live.
It's about damn time.
Welcome to Tabletop News Tuesday on the Character Sheet, your home for the week's first look at the biggest TTRPG and fantasy news. Before we dive into today's huge Critical Role announcement and other stories, why not take a second to hit those like and subscribe buttons to help us keep these videos coming. And then, let's dive into the news.
Issue number 1 is the first issue we're going to talk about.
Critical Role has just announced a brand new ongoing podcast called Weird Kids, featuring cast members Taliesin Jaffe and Ashley Johnson as hosts. The new podcast, which will air exclusively on Beacon and then a week later on YouTube, will kick off with a live watch party across all major platforms on March 20th. The new show will feature Ashley and Taliesin talking about their surreal stories and wild experiences from growing up as child actors in Hollywood, and will explore both the good times and the bad times that happen when you are a 6-year-old on a working movie or TV set. Ashley Johnson got her break at 6 years old, joining the cast of the hit sitcom Growing Pains as Chrissy Seaver, and Taliesin got his start around the same age in movies like Mr. Mom with Michael Keaton. And he also comes from a family full of scriptwriters and directors. It will be interesting to see how fans of Critical Role react to the new podcast, as this is the furthest Critical Role has ever gone away from their actual play bread and butter that made their brand so big. But it just goes to show that they're willing to push the boundaries in search of that next big show or podcast. But no matter how this all plays out, nothing will ever top Taliesin's finest moment as an actor.
I ain't giving up show business.
What's wrong, Dennis?
I got a strawberry.
Critical Role also announced a surprise one-shot based off the upcoming release of the Suikoden and Suikoden 2 remasters from Konami, the classic JRPGs that featured you assembling a team of 108 heroes to take down a corrupt regime. Matt Mercer will be the DM for this one-shot, which will air next Tuesday, and for the first time ever, his friend and fellow YouTuber Egoraptor, aka Aaron Hansen, aka half of the Game Grumps, will be joining him at the table, along with Ashley Johnson, Taliesin Jaffe, Zeno Robinson, who is best known perhaps for playing Harry Osborn in the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man series and Cyborg in Young Justice, and Zachary Ronaldo, aka D&D content creator Zach the Bold. The Suikoden series is one of the most iconic and beloved JRPG franchises ever, with its unique take on party mechanics, crazy castle building elements, massive army battles, and even an Iron Chef style cooking competition that were all decades ahead of their time. And seeing a JRPG fan like Matt Mercer getting to take us all on an adventure through this setting seems like a massive treat for RPG fans. Especially since the Suikoden games have been notoriously hard to find after their initial production runs on PlayStation. We can't wait to see if the party winds up being 5 of the notorious 108 stars that make up the hero's army, or if Matt has something else in mind when he invites us all to join him for the adventure that awaits at the White Deer Inn.
Truly a rare find.
Speaking of waiting, D&D's long-awaited virtual tabletop, once called Project Sigil and now just called Sigil, is live and available for all D&D Beyond members, even if you don't have a premium subscription. Sigil has officially launched, and shockingly, the microtransactions seem to be at a relative minimum for now, although the amount of content you can access is gated off by the kind of subscription you have to D&D Beyond. Free D&D Beyond users will still have access to a good amount of world building tools, dungeon building tools, and miniature creation tools, with paid subscribers getting even more access, and much more importantly, anyone with a Master Tier subscription having the ability to host multiplayer games, which arguably is the entire point of the VTT. So while you may need a full Master Tier account to effectively start running your campaign off of the Sigil VTT, the amount of miniatures and dungeons you can create with even a free account is impressive, and can help you decide if an account upgrade makes sense for you or your party. As for the program itself, some of the creation elements really need to be streamlined, and in particular, lining up different types of terrain or even similar types of terrain when creating dungeon floors or outdoor battle maps is incredibly fiddly and badly needs some kind of effective tiling option or like snap to effect, but the graphics and what you can actually achieve if you persist through a fiddly UI that will clearly be updated as time goes on shows a lot of promise. So if that interests you, you can check it out today with a free D&D Beyond subscription.
Check this out.
And finally, Oda, the creator of One Piece, has dropped a massive piece of lore fans have been dying to know for over 2 decades. Namely, what the heck is the world that One Piece takes place on actually called? It turns out that the world of One Piece is in fact called Blue Planet, or Blue Star, And furthermore, when asked about it in One Piece Volume 111 this week, Oda also confirmed that various other planets and extraterrestrial life exists in this universe, including the winged races who've appeared in One Piece, who apparently first lived on the moon of the Blue Planet before migrating down to the planet itself. Oda also hinted at 2 previous cataclysmic events in the history of Blue Planet that could help explain its extremely unusual makeup and topography, including the Red Line, that massive red continent that circles the whole planet, and the extremely different seas and oceans. So now that One Piece is finally nearing what could be the final arc of the manga, will Oda chime back in to reveal any more One Piece mysteries as Luffy and his crew explore Elbaf? Now that we know the name of One Piece's planet and that other planets and cultures are out there in this universe, it seems like nothing is off the table. And that's all we have this week for Tabletop News Tuesday. Let us know what your favorite story was down in the comments, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.